Okay, so get this. We're going deep on ET contact today. But hold on, it's not spaceships and lasers. It's way more interesting, at least according to this article from ET and I, this blog I found.
Yeah, E.T. and I, they're different. They're all about like personal experiences with contact and how to handle the emotional side of, actually meeting extraterrestrials.
It's kind of refreshing, actually, because let's be real, most of us hear aliens and our brains jump straight into sci-fi, right? Abductions, probes, the whole shebang.
Totally. But this blog dives into those fears head on. In fact, they've got this whole concept of creator races, which is kind of wild.
Creator races, hit me with it.
Okay, so imagine like a galactic UN, right? Keeping things in line, making sure no one species goes all Independence Day on the cosmos.
Okay, so a cosmic peacekeeping force. That does put things in a different light. Less, they're here to steal our cows. More galactic community watch.
Exactly, and that's their point. Some fears are pure Hollywood, not the reality this blog lays out.
So if it's not about outsmarting hostile aliens, what is the challenge?
Get this, it's not what they do to US, but our reaction to them.
Yeah.
We're talking intense emotions, physical stuff even, all triggered by their energy. Apparently we vibe differently.
Vibe differently, like cosmically out of tune? Break it down for me.
Imagine trying to chat with something vibrating at a totally different speed, like dogs hear stuff we don't. Right. It could be overwhelming to our senses. Seriously intense.
Cosmic sensory overload. Okay, I'm starting to see why this article is big on prepping mentally and emotionally now. Like, more meditation, less building a bunker.
Exactly. It's less about physical defenses and more about managing our own energy, being less stressed,
Yeah.
just being more self-aware in general.
Inner peace as a superpower, I like it, but how do we actually do that? Especially when faced with, well, the unknown, cosmic or otherwise.
That's where the article really digs deep. It's like, what if instead of freaking out about fear, we see it as information? It's part of us, part of how we evolved, right?
So fear is our teacher, not our enemy. I can get behind that. But how do we actually, work with it?
Well, they have some really interesting tips, and one that stuck with me was this. Practice being in the dark, literally. Because think about it, fear comes from what we don't know. And sometimes that's our own reactions, right?
It makes sense. If we
Right.
can handle the dark, maybe we can handle anything.
Right. Like a tiny fear to train for the big ones. And it's not all darkness. They talk about breathing, nature, just being more present.
Mindfulness stuff, which, hey, never hurts. But how do they connect this back to actual ETs?
It's about managing our energy. They say if we're all over the place, anxious, fearful, it's like static on a radio. Hard to pick up a signal, right?
Oh, I like that. So we're trying to be clear channels, not blocking the cosmic airwaves with our own fear. So it's not about forcing contact. It's about being open to it.
Exactly. And they say that openness, that journey to get there, that's self-discovery too.
Yeah.
Like we become better at being us, ready for anything.
Meeting ourselves through the idea of meeting ETs. That's deep. What do you make of that?
It is, isn't it? Like this whole thing, this whole deep dive, it kind of makes you think about how much we limit ourselves with fear.
For sure. And they're not just saying don't be scared. It's more like, what if facing that fear, even the idea of aliens, helps us grow in ways we never thought of?
Right. And who knows, maybe that's the real encounter, the real contact, not some spaceship, but us realizing how much potential we have, just locked away inside.
Okay, wow. So less about what's out there in the universe, more about what's in here. That's a head trip, but I like it.
It's like this whole article, it's a roadmap, but not for finding aliens, for finding ourselves. Yeah. Becoming the kind of people ready for anything, not just ETs, but any big change, any unknown.
I mean, when you put it like that, that's pretty inspiring, right? Not bad for an article about extraterrestrials.
Exactly. It just goes to show sometimes the most unexpected journeys lead to the most amazing discoveries.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But folks, there you have it. Another deep dive, another chance to explore the big questions and maybe even discover something new about ourselves along the way. Thanks for listening.